monitoring Tomcat with MoSKito.
Right.
Tell us about MoSKito and what advantages it has over other monitoring solutions, because there's so many of them out there.
So MoSKito is basically what you can have if you spend a lot of money and buy New Relic and Dynamics and this kind of stuff, but for free. So we are focusing mainly on Java, and most of our users are coming from web applications, therefore focus on Tomcat. And what we do is we monitor everything what happens in the application. So there are several ways to integrate us, but basically what you do, you annotate your code. You say this is an important class, I want to see what it's doing. Code is then processed with LP, and everything that happens from there is monitored, like number of requests, number of concurrent executions, average duration, this kind of stuff. But not only this, we also can monitor not technical issues, and this is an important thing that other solutions basically don't provide. We can monitor stuff like registrations, payments, sales, this kind of stuff. And we do this by allowing user to create stub classes which don't do anything, but you just call a method whenever payment has occurred. And then you make a click and we count this. So on top of it, this is a basic data foundation. And what we do then is we can do charts, and you see how it develops over time, spikes and all this kind of stuff. And you can define thresholds, and with the thresholds you can have all kinds of notifications. So if you see that some value is above some level, then you can have an email, Slack notification, whatever. And also, another important feature is we can actually record all what's happening in the application. So when the user is using the application and something's happening, you can see what paths this request took in your code, what kind of parameters have been transmitted, what are the return values, exceptions, all kind of this stuff which is important to you to understand what's happening in your code.
And so this is something that the person that's writing the Tomcat code is developing specifically in order to be monitored by MoSKito, is that correct?
Not necessarily. We can work with existing applications, so you just add a Java agent to your application and then it works fine. But we made the experience that it works best when your application, when you care about monitoring as a process of the writing, and that you can adjust your application and put some marks for us to understand what is important, what is not so important, and to process this information. So whenever you are developing a web application, just like you do your unit testing, just like you think about documentation, you should also, or logging, you should also think about monitoring.
Is MoSKito part of the Tomcat project itself?
No. MoSKito is standalone, complete open source project, but we have strong affiliation to Apache, and many of our users are using it with Tomcat, but not only, of course.
If people want to find out more about MoSKito, where do we go?
We go to MoSKito website, www.moskito.org, and I also
that is spelled MoSKito, right?
Yeah, there's actually a story behind this as well.
I'd love to hear the story.
Yeah. So MoSKito was started back in 2007, and I was working at Friendscout, which was Germany's one of the biggest community dating platform at the time, and they had nothing to monitor what was happening. And the first name was GoldenEye. And GoldenEye, because the James Bond movie, GoldenEye, just got into cinemas, and it seemed like a good name. And then I asked for permission to open source it, and back then Friendscout belonged to Deutsche Telekom, and everyone was afraid, like, how can we open source our IP, what would someone managers say, and this kind of stuff. And then I got like, okay, you can open source it, but you need another name. So okay, let's come up with another name. And what MoSKito is, it's basically not really a tool. I mean, you can use it as a tool, but it's more, I understand it's more like a kit, because you can build your monitoring solution with it. It provides you all the tools to build your monitoring solutions. Provide a lot of different parts. You have some widgets, you can use a TV screen in development room, you have something for IoT and so on. So monitoring system kit, and they always just, so it sounds better.
Yeah.
Over the time we had actual MoSKito as logo in the beginning, and then as the project grew and we had users from South America, we just got like negative feedback. It's not so well to name something MoSKito, so now we have another logo. And I have a list of URLs I will give you so you can publish the project.
All right, those will be down in the video description below this video.
Right. Post it on GitHub as everything nowadays. So come out, come by, check out, participate.
Give us some examples of people that you're aware of that are using MoSKito and has improved their code, has improved their world.
Basically, we give people more visibility of what's happening. So I know some people who actually, if something's happening, they have 24/7 platforms, and if something's happening in the night, then next day they're able to look it up, or maybe not to have to look it up at all, but to have the solution. But some particular stories were interesting, like we have a huge German online supermarket, and the CEO was calling everyone because one of the main pages didn't deliver. It was Saturday, 9 o'clock in the evening, and it was shortly before completely escalating because they're running TV ads and this kind of stuff. And with this feature I was talking previously about, that you can actually see what's happening in the code. So they called, the guys who work there called me, and we looked into this execution, and we've seen that the page tries to get some article from a database which was not there, probably deleted by someone. And this way we could make him happy because he could just remove this article from the list of articles to be retrieved, and he could enjoy his evening, Saturday evening, and didn't have to make some urgent releases in the night and this kind of stuff. So what we basically do for people, we allow them to sleep better, and we reduce this, digging time by removing guessing and providing certainty and providing transparency.
Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to trying it out.